the things that I think is cool about this culture is that there is this much sharing going on, and it takes an effort from everybody. And so I need, so I can be a little pushy about you guys showing up, but I'm pushy about it, and I want your cameras on and everything else, because we don't see each other all the time. This connection is really important. It's important for your mental health. It's important for your attitude. It's important for especially when the market's tough. Like, this is a tough market. It just is. But there's tons of opportunity in it, and the fact that we get to share as many of the things that we're sharing on here, I know helps a lot. So I had coffee with Christine this morning before this meeting, and I shared something that just this dawned on me of what this career has been like for me. I got in the business at the end of 1997. Interest rates had been falling, and I thought I was going to, I've told this story a lot, where I thought I was going to just refinance everybody, and then rates went up one day in the spring of 98, and I missed a lock for somebody because I used to float the locks and stuff. There was all, because I didn't know shit, and it scared me, because I just thought, oh man, I'm going to do, this is what I'm going to do for a living, and this is going to be amazing, and I'm going to just refinance the world. And then rates go up, and you're like, oh shit, what am I going to do? And you have to get purchase business. Well, from 1998 until 2000, my business really grew, because I was just an originator. I didn't have a company. I worked at 5 different companies until I started this company in July of 2000. But March of 2000 or April of 2000 is the month in the year that I had the best month that I ever had. And it coincided with the NASDAQ, the stock market was screaming. So the internet boom started in the 90s. And it if you remember all the stupid stories, similar to what we see today sometimes about, all these companies would get funded. If you had .com in your name, you could get money from venture capitalists, right? And so the NASDAQ got up to like 5. I think the NASDAQ got, if I remember right, it got up to 5,000, and then it crashed. April of 2000 is when that happened. And I closed 26 loans that month. 23 of them were purchases, and about half of them were with my buddy, Scott Nordby, who I went and met with yesterday. And at 8.5% interest rate with a 1%, with a point. That's what we were selling. And that's what everybody took. And that's when interest rates peaked, and then they started to come down, because when the internet bubble burst, all these companies were going out of business. But what else happened? What happened in Colorado soon infected the rest of the world, the rest of the country, but it took several years. And so our housing market began to soften pretty significantly in 2000. And from 2000 until, I remember this vividly, 2000 to like 2004 or 5, I had started to meet a lot of people around the country, being involved in the coaching programs I was involved in, and being involved in the Todd Duncan world, building champions. And so I met people in different parts of the country, and they were killing it, and we were dying, because I don't have any of the records, but I mean, I hired Giuseppe in 2002. It was slow. I mean, it was November of 2002 when he came to work here. It'll be 20 years next month. And we weren't killing it on purchase business. We were doing business, but we weren't doing, there wasn't a lot of business to do. And our business was, I don't know, I was still trying to figure out, am I in this business or not? I had already started my company. And as I shared with Christine today, I made more money as an originator not owning a mortgage company in 1999 than I did until 2009. It took me 10 more years to make more money than I did in 1999, and I made significantly less several of those years, because just figuring out how to being successful originating loans and then owning a mortgage company are 2 different jobs. I didn't realize it at the time. I just thought, oh yeah, I'll start a mortgage company and I'll keep all the money. And so but those years were terrible, because Colorado, the headlines came out, and Giuseppe will remember this, the headlines started to come out like every month that Colorado was leading the nation in foreclosures. Well, when the state you live in is leading the nation in foreclosures, people don't want to buy houses. And so we lived on, I mean, rates were low, so we were refinancing people, so we were getting refinance business, but we weren't getting we weren't doing that much purchase business at all. And it was really tough to work with the realtors. The realtors were really struggling to sell houses. And so a lot like it is now, it wasn't this severe and it didn't happen this fast as it did this time. But all that time, you just had to keep grinding. And so 2006, 7, 8, mortgage meltdown. And, you know, in 2000, nobody wanted to buy a house then. Like that's when they came up with the first-time home buyer incentive from the government. If you were a first-time home buyer and you bought a house, you got, I don't know, was it a $7,500 credit, John? Does that sound right? I think it was a $7,500 tax credit that you could take on your tax return the next year. That's what they were doing to incent people to buy homes because nobody wanted to buy a home. It sucked. But as I showed in the State of the Company meeting a couple of weeks ago, our business took off those years because we were always focused on purchase business. So I'm only sharing that story because this business has never, I really believe 2020 and 2021 really screwed with our psyches because it was so easy. Business was easy those years, and you just didn't have to do that much, which is why the industry attracted so many people. And why that and why that's why we have to get back to that. The law of equilibrium has to kick in. I'm going to share something from an email that I got this week from Kevin Shetler, who's one of the recruiters at VIP that I know really well. Guaranteed rate just announced this morning they're going to furlough processors, assistants, closers, and underwriters. This is guaranteed rate. Massive company, right? They're one of the top 5 lenders in America. I don't know how many employees they must have. I'm sure they have around 10,000 employees. All the operations positions are going to a 4-day work week effective immediately. And right now they say this will stay in place until February 23rd. That's the purge that we're talking about, right? That's the people leaving the industry, because a lot of the people who are getting furloughed are like, I'm gonna go do something else, right? They're just like, it's not worth it. And I ran into a guy. This is really not funny, but this is the state of the industry. And I went to My Fit Foods. I told Casey this the other day. I went to My Fit Foods to get some lunch the other day, and I had my Zenith shirt on. And the guy standing behind the counter is like, "Oh, how long you been in the mortgage business?" Which is not something most people ask you when they see that. And I said, "Well, like 25 years." And he goes, "Oh yeah." He goes, "I used to be in mortgage." And I go, "Really?" I go, where'd you work? And he goes, "Oh, I worked for Guild and I worked for Cross Country." And I go, "Oh, Guild, do you know Eric Colby?" And he goes, "Yeah, I worked for Eric." And I said, "Yeah, I know Eric." And I go, "Did you work for Gavin over at Cross Country?" And he goes, "Yeah, I worked for Gavin too." And I go, he goes, "I was in the core. I know Rick Ruby." And I'm like, "Well, why are you doing this?" Right? Selling freaking food at My Fit Foods. "Oh, yeah, I really like helping people. I just didn't like the part about, all the technical stuff when it came to mortgages and that. Now you're selling My Fit Foods? Come on." So this is what I'm talking about. Clearly not a committed human professional in this industry. That's your competition, my friends. That's really what you're up against. And so you all have a choice to make. Am I committed? Am I a committed professional? Am I gonna, you just heard one of the top producers of this company talk about Barry Habib. I'm becoming an expert. I'm learning. He's still trying to learn more. He's still trying to get better. Are you that person? Or are you like, this would be easy? And it's like going, it's not easy to make 200 grand, guys. It's not easy to make 400 grand. It's not easy to make $1 million. It's just not easy. And it was never going to be easy. I never told you it was easy. I told you it was simple. It's talk to lots of people, get opportunities, pull their credit, pre-approve them, loans fall out, right? But it's never, I never said it was easy. And so it's supposed to be hard. And I just don't want you to, as difficult as it can be in times like this, when you see the market and the movement and it's dramatic, it's easy to, I'm going to go work at My Fit Foods. Like, that's a weird decision to make in my mind. Like, that's just like, oh my God, he was in the core. These guys have a coaching approach that is just like, you make 40 phone calls every Monday and you talk to 40 realtors and you find out if there's anybody. I mean, if you look at a core loan officers, most of the core loan officers production, you'll see they have like 3 agents they do more than like 3 or 4 deals a year with, and then like a list of 60 or 70 agents they do 1 deal with each, right? Like, because their approach is just hardcore prospecting all the time, and not necessarily relationship building. It's really kind of interesting. I'm not saying it's wrong. I believe in the discipline of prospecting that much, but that's what's going to work today, is you being out, having the conversations, meeting with people. And so here's, I purposely reached out to my friend Scott that owns the Berkshire Hathaway deal. He invited me to his company's quarterly sales meeting, which I attended at the up there on 21st and Decatur, that event center. Can't think of what it's called. And I haven't seen him in, like, we haven't seen each other for a long time. His wife showed up, she gives me a big hug. Oh my God, because I used to do all of her loans. And then I met with him yesterday at coffee, and as we're talking, we spent about an hour and a half just catching up. He's got like 180 agents. I didn't realize his company had gotten that big. And as we were talking, I was explaining to him that Lori's going to start doing reverse mortgages again. And his response to that was, he goes, "You guys used to do these, didn't you?" And I said, "Yeah." And he goes, "Can you guys come in and tell us about them? Can you guys come, could you share like reverse mortgages with my team and with our realtors?" That was all a result of, I'm just going to go out and talk to people. I'm going to go out and meet with people. I'm going to go out and see what's going on and see if there's things I can buy. I didn't say to him, "So do you have any leads?" I didn't say, "Do you have any realtors that need lenders?" I didn't do any of that. I was just engaging with him and finding that the point of this is that nothing's going to happen if you're going to sit behind your desk during times like this. Nothing will happen. You can't just be on the phone. You've got to be out meeting people, and you've got to be out finding ways. How can you really add value? I had a great conversation with Christine this morning. She brought up an excellent point. Every lender is telling realtors what to do when they get a buyer. When you give me the lead, I can do 2-1 buy downs. I'm going to show you how to do a 2-1 buy down, which is what everybody's telling every realtor that they know how to do. And I still think that there's value in there, but there's a bigger value. The realtor challenge is they don't know how to get leads right now. And so that's what Christine is spending her time on, and has led to her having as many opportunities as she's had, is that she's focusing on helping them figure out how they're going to go get leads. And how is she doing that? She's using Ninja Selling. She's making sure they get a copy of Ninja Selling. And did you say Fanatical Prospecting as well?
Amplify your influence.
And there you go. So those are the kinds of things. These are realtors a lot of realtors don't know what they should be doing. Most of them don't understand the concept of a database. If you ask your average realtor if they have a CRM, they're going to say no. But they'll tell you they have a spreadsheet. You know how much you can help them with that? Just coaching them, like, look, we got to find you a CRM, because there's all these things that you can do. But if you want to take the easy button, is you call a realtor, you get a lead. That's always amazing when it happens. But I'm convinced that it wasn't just 2020 and 2021. I think it was maybe for about the last 5 years, it's been pretty easy to get deals. When I say that, even if you're new, what I mean by that is, like, if you present yourself well, if you come across with confidence and you're out meeting realtors, you haven't had to add a lot of value beyond just, I can close your loan on time to get business, right? Because it's been so easy for realtors to get, what Scott shared with me was, like, he goes, I've had realtors that, like, took a listing, never put a sign in the yard, sold the house in 24 hours, and they didn't do anything. And he goes, and now they're like, those realtors are freaking out, because, like, oh my God, why do I have to work? Why do I have to get leads? I don't understand. And they don't understand the concepts of nurturing a database, staying in contact, calling their clients, finding out what's going on. You have so many tools at your disposal that can really add value. We all have HomeBot. Going and sitting with them and explaining to them how HomeBot works and how they can add their agents, and now there's a touch opportunity. That's value, right? That's something that can actually help them. That isn't about you getting a lead from them, which is what everyone is saying. Like, I can help you. When a loan officer says, I want to help you grow your business, what the realtor hears is, you just want my leads. Because you're not fucking doing anything to help them grow their business. If you don't go, like, can I show you something? Can I show you? Yes, I can do 2-1 buy downs. Yes, I can show you how I can explain it to your customer to get them excited, but I need to help you get customers too. So let's talk about how I can help you get customers. That is a meeting that you will get every freaking time. But I'm just telling you, it's in 2022, and I'm telling you, you can capture so much market share right now. If you just decide, like, I'm going to go out and help. I'm going to go out and I'm going to really help. what can I do to help you? And and it isn't, and you have to have some solutions. You can't say, what can I do? Because they don't know. Realtors don't know. But if you ask them a question like, do you have a CRM? They'll have a spreadsheet with names. My own wife had a spreadsheet with names on them. I'm like so embarrassed to even share that information that I can't believe you had a spreadsheet. Like, why didn't you have this somewhere? And she's like, I know. And that, but help them, right? Like help them figure that out. We have escrow. We've had some success with it. I don't know if it's something that you can use. Helping them understand the things that they can do with the CRM will change everything for them. So that's what agents really need. The other thing that I want to share, I have 3 other subjects that I want to hit on. The most important thing, and this came across, and this is clearly no disrespect to Giuseppe, but Giuseppe's name, I get rings very large here in this company. And at breakfast this morning, Christina, I'm going to just throw you under the bus. I mean, she shared with me, she's like, dude, that was so intimidating. It was almost like, well, I could never do that. I could never be that guy. I could never do as much business because, yeah, he does a lot of business. And what I shared with Christine today, and I said, well, if you ask Giuseppe, he'll say, yeah, I'm not very good at this. There's so many guys that do so much more business than me. The point of that is, you know, Ryan Pettigrew, when I've talked to you guys about Ryan trying to be, it was clear to me that Ryan was trying to be somebody he's not. He was trying to be more like Giuseppe than Ryan Pettigrew. And what I helped him with is like figuring out, I was like going, dude, you just need to be Ryan Pettigrew, Ryan the golfer, the guy with all that confidence. You guys all have that somewhere in your life. Keegan with hockey. I don't know, Jay with lacrosse. I don't know what everybody's is, but you all have something that you're super confident in. And if that person shows up to meet with a realtor and that person shows up to meet with a client, they're going to want to work with you. They just will, because you're being yourself and you're being real. So don't let Giuseppe be your model other than swipe and adapt all the habits and swipe and adapt all the tools and swipe and adapt all the approaches, but don't try to be that guy because you can't be him and he can't be me. It used to bug me when he would do his sits. This is true. We've talked about this. It used to bug me that he didn't do what I did. And actually, I'm really glad that he didn't, because then he would have been trying to been somebody else. My approach to an appointment and his approach to appointment were like completely different, but neither one of them were broken. So I didn't need him to fix that. And so I need you to understand the importance of being yourself. At a time like this, I'm changing subject again, like an ADD meeting. It's easy to get, I've seen this from a lot of you that like, oh, I'm so busy. It took me all day to do this. It took me all day to do this credit review. It took me all day to do this contract. It's like, guys got to get into the habit right now of really being focused on doing one thing at a time. And what that means is put your cell phone on airplane mode, put your Zoom on do not disturb, and put your email on work offline or just shut it down altogether and do the task that you have in front of you. You will be amazed at the amount of productivity gains that you will find. It will amaze you. It always amazes me when I do this. I'll say it again. I can't possibly write the Friday Focus with everything on. I have to shut everything off and just sit here and think. And you know, I reference the books that I'm referring to and everything else as I'm writing it. I don't write it, by the way. I speak it I use talk to text, because if I had to type it, it would take me 4 times as long because I can't type. But that's how I get it done. And sometimes I get it done in as little as an hour. And so, but it's an important thing that I want to commit to every week. And the only way that I can get it done is that I have to block time in my calendar. I have to shut everything off and I have to do it. And so you can be incredibly productive if you decide that you want to be, if you have to take those steps. It's a discipline that once you learn and master, you will be so happy that you did it. So the next time you've got a task like that in front of you, take that approach. You want to research real estate agents, shut everything off and research real estate agents for an hour. You'll be amazed at how much you'll dig up. And stay on task, stay out of social media, stay out, unless that's where you're doing the research on them, but don't be going down any other rabbit holes. Stay focused. These things make all the difference. It really is, in times like this, what I heard on that call that I shared with all of you, and please make sure that you take time to listen to it and share anything that you take away from it. But it is the fundamentals. It's just getting out and being in front of people consistently instead of doing what a lot of people are doing, they're thinking, I'm not sure I should be in this business. Is this going to work? How come I'm not getting, like, God, call your clients. That's all you have to do is pick up the phone and start talking to your clients and see how they're doing. The ones that you got a loan for, the ones that you didn't get a loan for, and see how everybody's doing and just check in with them. Just that activity right there will produce results for you. I'm going to switch gears here and have John share something that is a really good strategy that we need to implement. I'm really excited that they figured this out because I had reached out to marketing to try to develop something in Salesforce. Go ahead, John, you can share this. Some of you may already know about this because John's been talking about it with new people, but I don't think that everybody knows this is possible because I didn't know this. So go ahead. This is about setting a rate. Go ahead, John.
Hey. So this is a really simple tool that OB has to set a rate reminder once you close a loan, or if you have a lead that's just like, rates aren't working out right now for my refi, but we're going to set a reminder so that you don't forget about it. The way you use it is you log directly into OB, not through Encompass. All you have to do is fill out the basic information. You all can see my screen, right? Fill out the basic information on your loan, save it as a prospect. Go to your pipeline tab. You've probably all seen that there's a pipeline tab here and I've never clicked on it. So here's the pipeline tab, and then you set a rate alert here. Borrower's name. You put your desired rate, your desired price, and your desired lock period. And you can put an expiration date for this alert, but you don't have to. And then you can also add an email for the borrower or anyone else you want to CC, like a realtor or referral partner or something. Set the parameters of your final alert. You can add an email signature if this is going to go to your borrower and submit this. Sorry, guys. I don't know why it doesn't like my date.
You got to change the
Take
rate.
away the period.
Oh, I'm reading the wrong thing.
Yeah.
Thank you. And then in your pipeline, you can actually see everything you set up. And if you hover over the rate alert, it'll just tell you, if you just want to go and look at this every once in a while, that your pricing is not where you want it to be. And then anytime you can come in here and edit your alerts too. Like if you're like, this target's not aggressive enough or too aggressive, you can come in here and edit it. So easy, simple tool to set up every time you close a loan, customer for life. And I'll send out instructions for this as well.
So thanks, John. Who can you stop sharing your screen for a second? Did anybody know about this and have been using it? Yeah, I didn't know. And so I heard on the Craig Strent interview, Giuseppe, that Craig did, how he sets rate alerts and he's going to tell the client, I'll notify you when the time comes. I'm like, yeah, we need to do that. I actually sent him an email and he never responded to me. But so I reached out to marketing because I wanted to see if there was a way that we could build something that could do that somehow in Salesforce at a rate. So here's the conversation that you would be having right now with clients that you're closing and clients that you've already closed. Like, so anybody that you've already closed in a higher rate environment, which would be pretty much everybody this year, and just say, hey, I just want to check in, how things going. Let's establish, I want to, cause you know what's going on. Here's what's going on in the markets, right? The rates have gotten higher, but I do know that one of the things that we're going to want to do is save you money when the time comes. And what I want to do is establish what that is so that I can be ready for you. So do you want to hear from me when I can save you $100 a month or $200 a month, $300 a month? Because what I don't want to do is ever see one of my clients miss an opportunity to save, if we save you $100 a month, we're talking about $100 a month probably is like not even worth these loan amounts now. But if I can save you $2,400 a year, I can save you $24,000 over 10 years. I don't want to miss an opportunity to save my clients that money. There's nothing more disappointing to me going back to the 2020 and the 2021 period, the people that didn't lock in when they could have, because they kept wanting another opportunity and then the market just slipped away from them. It's disappointing to me when people don't take advantage of these. So I want to make sure that you know, and you don't have to email the customer. You know, you can put the customer's email address in there if you wanted to, but if you can establish that with a script that says, okay, so when I can save you $200 a month, I'm going to send you an email. You guys know exactly what that rate needs to be to save them $200 a month. All you have to do is do the math and just say, okay, so when I hit that target, I'm going to send you an email that says it's time. And then you can say, okay, lock me, and then we'll just go. Fair enough? So think about what you're doing. Your customer's like, dude, that's awesome. Because everybody says I'll monitor your rate, but nobody really monitors their rate. Most people have a spreadsheet, or they do the database query and they find everybody over a certain rate and they start making phone calls or sending emails or sending text messages. This will do it for you. And so what a great, as soon as I guess this was VIP shared this information on the call the other day. And so Carol saw that. She sent me an email. She goes, are you on this call? Because this is what you were looking for. And I'm like, no. And so then I reached out to John, and here we are. So great tool. You need to incorporate this. All of you need to incorporate this into your, it's a really good idea. We need to incorporate it into, Jessica just said, add it to the CD checklist. You need to incorporate this somewhere in your process this needs to come from you. I would not want Chris asking this question to the client on the 3-week call. This needs to be you and your client and your relationship, and you can begin to share this information with real estate agent partners. By the way, I have a system where every one of my clients goes in and we're checking, because Optimal Blue will check that every day. The Optimal Blue will run that every single day to check your rate. Isn't that right, John? Is it on a daily basis they pull that? Yeah. So you've got the parameters set, the credit score set, and what were you going to say?
Every pricing change.
Every pricing. That's awesome.
Did you get an email? Sorry.
Yeah.
Do you know how this is different from the rate alert emails that we get from Surefire?
Well, this is OB literally pricing your loan to your pricing parameters.
So like every day, because
Surefire is very generic.
Yeah.
Surefire is going to do it based on
Market.
the market.
Yeah.
okay.
And it's not
specific to your
accurate. I
client.
just got one for a guy that I closed at 7.8, Todd Reisman, Dave.
Yeah.
But we refinanced him already, so it's like, it's not accurate.
Yeah.
And you can, go ahead, Chris, I'm sorry. I was gonna say, you can, if you saw in the thing, you can actually set if it's an affordable loan, FHA, VA, like the actual loan parameters and how many points and everything. So it's completely accurate to our pricing, to your pricing.
As far as I'm concerned, Giuseppe uses this term all the time. I love it. This is the easy button for you to stay on top of your clients and never have them miss an opportunity to refinance. If you have that script, just say, look, you're going to get an automated email. My systems are designed to just notify you. So you're not going to get a phone call from me. You're going to get an email. I'm going to get the same email. I'll know that you were notified. All you need to do is send me an email back and say, lock me, and we'll get you locked in. And I don't know, there's more to it than that, right? But you could certainly get them locked. It's like, make sure nothing's changed in your profile. Credit's about the same, income, debts. Okay, I'm going to lock you. And I mean, you guys can master this process and create so much future business opportunity by doing this. Do not discount. This is going to be a big part of what I want to see everybody doing. So we're going to monitor this. If you're not putting clients in there, then I'm going to put them in my name and like start monitoring them, because I want those loans too. Right. So if you're not going to do them, I'll do them. It's fine with me. I can pass out. I'll just give you the lead. It'll become a house lead. I'll pay you 50 basis points and stuff. So I guess you'll do it. I would never just take your deal, but don't miss out on this opportunity. This is a great value add for your business.
I was going to say, it's for sure that we get an email too, as well as them, or should we be putting our email in there?
You could just put your email in there and not put theirs in. They don't have to get the email, right, John?
Right. Yeah, it only goes to the email it's set. I'll test a couple for higher rates, but it's your login, so you should be getting the email.
Maybe we could do it like at the 5-month mark. We're not-
Yes,
Good.
you can have it, Giuseppe, John, isn't there a way to delay it?
No. No. You just have to
Maybe
watch,
it's a
you have to
check-in
watch your
call.
own pipeline for EPO, but you can't set it so it doesn't start looking for a particular amount of time.
Okay, so maybe it's a 6-month, maybe it's a 5-month trigger item in your,
Like a check-in call, like, hey, let's get ready for the next loan.
Right.
Um,
And it's also kind of cool. You can go in and if it's pricing's not better, you can still reprice right from that setup. So however you set it up, you can reprice without entering any data again, which is pretty cool. Or change parameters, like your credit score or something. So very
did
quick.
anyone watch that Barry call or that recording? That was one of the links that Dave sent out.
I did.
Are you worried about rates getting into the high 4s in December? Like, that's like a whole wave of EPOs. It'd be better if they went to 6 and then 5 this year and then 4 the year after that. That works a lot better.
Yeah, well, we've been through this before, right? Where we go from a high rate market to a low rate market. We haven't gone from that high to that low as fast, right? But we haven't gone from that low to this high as fast either. So I suppose it's possible. It's a problem that we'll deal with when we get there because, you know, I'd rather do the loan for the client than have the client do the loan somewhere else. Because of course I would rather do the loan for the client. I'll pay back that commission to get this commission. But if I have to pay back my commission and not get another commission, I've just lost. So yeah, I don't want them to go to 4 in December from this, but
gonna
it's
be some
October
crazy
21st.
savings.
Huh?
It's gonna be some crazy savings at these loan amounts.
Yeah,
You
it
know,
will be.
$1,000 plus.
Yeah. Yeah. So we'll see. I mean, the dude's pretty accurate, so it will be interesting to see what plays out. He's been pretty accurate. I don't know. There's been so many strange things in the economy, things that have happened. It's been a strange year, such a strange year, right? Probably the strangest I've seen.
Well, that next inflation report's November 10th, so it's the day after my birthday, so that would be a pretty sweet present. I can't talk, honey. I gotta lock some loans.
Yeah. All right. All right. Well, that's it for days. Anybody have anything else they want to share or anything else they'd like to add? Anything they want to ask?
So Dave, I got a quick question here, and this might be for John. Like when that email comes in, rates at the target area, I mean, would that be a good time to do like a mortgage coach and a personal video and send it up to the client?
You wouldn't have to. If you set it up right, you've already told the customer what's the payment savings you're looking for. I'll alert you when we hit it. So you shouldn't, I mean, you certainly could do that, but the idea here would be the customer's just like, yeah, lock me. I mean, you're my lender and I can save $300 a month, lock me. I don't know if I need a mortgage coach for that. I wouldn't say not do it, but you know, the
I can
easy
come up
button
with
is
a
they
good
get the
template
email
for
and
everyone.
what's that?
I can come up with a good email template for everyone. Like most of 2020, 21, 70% of those clients I never even talked to on the phone. It was just like a reply, mortgage statement, a few well-crafted questions, and see if it's okay to rebuild their file and pull credit. And you send it and they say lock, and that was that. So we can do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jessica made a good point. If you do it right, 'cause, I mean, a lot of clients are, I'm already talking, people are like, yeah, payment time, like we'll refi in like 2 years or less. That's where I'm setting the short-term analysis on the TCA, just as a probably worst case scenario. And then I'll plug in when I'm doing my review with them, even on a lock-in call. I'd be like, so like, when will we refinance? And I'll put like 6.5 in or 6, and they'd be like, okay, that's good. So what you should do is as soon as they close, just, I don't know, if you guys need help, I can show you. You can copy over that closing for that client into a new TCA. You just got to label the bottom different, like Dave Gallegos purchased 2022, Dave Gallegos refi 2023. and then you can set it up. So as soon as you get that alert, you just plug in the rate,
It's a great
send
idea.
it to the client, it's done. So yeah, so Jessica, you should probably just do what you're doing.
Right on. Great stuff. We have great tools, you guys. There's no reason why, and that's where, one of the fundamentals of being great at this business is mastering your tools, because it'll leverage. It's called leverage. It's how you're able to do, like Giuseppe said, he goes, great email template. If he had to talk to 600 clients, he probably couldn't have done 600 loans. And he got it to where 70% of the refinance clients didn't need to talk to him. That's trust. You've built a high level of trust and likability and performance. People know you, people trust you. Just take care of me. I mean, that's what we all want, isn't it? It's what I want. I don't want to have to talk to you. I mean, I will, but if I don't have to and you can take care of me, that would be great. So, all right. Well, this is a great share. This is a great call, everybody. Thank you. I appreciate your time. John, we'll get that information out to you regarding how to set this up in OB. Maybe you guys can share testing, different things, what happens and what goes to where and when. Some logistics, obviously, to work through. You don't want to turn this on until month 5, probably, not month 5, but 5 payments, right? So if they close in the middle of a month, you want to count to the first payment and then 5 more payments before you reach out. So let's not cause any of our own
You
EPO.
could reach out, the EPO dates are in Salesforce. I think they were able to plug all those in, right?
Yes.
And so, you could do a 60-day rate lock and say, hey, to do the free refinance, you have to make this December payment or whatever it is. So we're going to close you in January. And as long as the rate's locked, like, they don't care if they're closing in December or January. So you'll have that data to make sure you don't get an EPO. The funding, and I would just say the signing date, to be sure, should just be the day after the EPO date.
There you go. There you go. Yeah, talk to somebody that did 600 loans 1 year. I'm just really excited we got the tool and we have the way to do it.
Cool. Thanks for that tip on the Optimal Blue.
Yeah, right on.
It'll be a big project, but it'll be a great one to have done and can be set as part of just, whatever closing procedure you're doing to kind of close out your file.
Right on. All right, everybody. Thank you. Have an awesome day. Let's go kick some ass. Get out there, meet people, press the flesh. Okay. Things will happen when you're talking to people. See ya.